Hi, this is Candace Zarni. I am here today with Joel Bruce Wallach. We are talking about today how to feel good in your body, and Joel is going to tell you and explain how to use the Super Cell Plate to make that happen. Joel?
Candace, the supercell is created to help you tune into the original positive true vibration of your cells. And if that sounds a little bit out there, I think it is. It works in a very subtle way. And the idea of being comfortable in your body, the question that many people might have is, how could I be comfortable in this body? I'm judging it because of how it looks compared to other people, how much I weigh, how tall I am, uh, my facial shape compared to somebody else's facial shape. Working with the supercell puts you into a level that transcends all of those issues because it helps you tune in to it's tuning into something that's beyond all of that. It's deeper than all of that. See, most of us haven't tuned into this deeper level of self that transcends how we look. And this helps you get into how do your cells feel. And it smooths the pathway so you can get a sense of, at a really primal level, my cells are starting to feel more alive. That aliveness must be me. You're tuning into a way of being in your body that transcends what do I think people are seeing when they look at me. And it's more like, what am I being? What am I? It gets you deeper into that sense of, I'm alive. I'm a living being. Now, when you feel aliveness, one way to describe it, if you've ever gone for a walk in nature, you feel like you're surrounded with something that's really alive. If you've been to the beach or you've been to the mountains, you feel that you're surrounded with something eternal, something alive, something beautiful and wonderful. And this helps you get into the deeper beauty of your life. Not your life as in, what are you doing with your life, but the livingness of you.
You know, as you speak about this, I think in terms of, the ugly puppy, the ugliest dog that there is. And the dog is so ugly that how could you think it was cute? But its personality just
Mm-hmm.
radiates, and it's the cutest little dog ever.
Mm-hmm.
And what I hear you saying is that tapping in, using this, helps you tap into your divine blueprint. Those are your words, and the beauty of who you are as a human being. And
Yes.
that, and then as you tap into that, that's the person that people see. The more you're tapping into that divine blueprint of who you truly are, not what color hair do you have, or how what you weigh, or what your facial features are, or what color your eyes are. It's not about that. It's that the divine being that you are begins to shine through what you look like.
That is a really good point. And it definitely is more than just helping you to tune into your cells being alive, which is wonderful in and of itself. When you are referenced to that, even if you never were before, people can't help but be referenced to that. And the reason for that, if you're walking around thinking, oh, my lips are too big or small, my nose is too big or small, etc., you're sending off some pretty bad vibes. So if you're tuning into, oh, the feeling of my cells, the feeling of my body tissue, I can feel the pulse, there's something beautiful and wonderful there, that's shining out. And people start to notice, hey, this person has a really fascinating energy.
Right, right.
And so it doesn't change the shape of your nose or your color of your hair or any of that stuff. But all of that stuff is only one narrow percentage of what you are. There's a broader you, a much deeper you that's a lot more fascinating, frankly, than how many blemishes do I have and all that stuff.
Right.
When you're tuning into your aliveness, And I find the more I hold this disc, as the minutes go by, it's as if I'm starting to feel this shimmer in my body.
Right.
Now, what is that shimmer? Is it something we can measure scientifically? Not exactly, but the life presence, it's that I have a felt sense of the life presence within me, and it feels quite nice, kind of frothy and bubbly and fascinating. And the supercell helps you to get there. And from that place, you can tune in and you can have little meditations or experiences where you really do start to recognize this is real. And then it's really powerful when you look out at the world and you look at people and you recognize I'm interacting with the world from my deep, shimmering place of aliveness,
Right.
rather than from my little narrow
Perspective.
box of I'm so tall and I weigh so much, and
Well, and the thought forms that have been put on through your life
mm,
from other people.
yeah, and even if when they look at you, they can still see that you're so tall and you weigh so much, etc., etc. In spite of all that, if you become more referenced to your shimmering, living, vibrant, alive self, you recognize that that's what you are. And people, as you mentioned, start to recognize that that's what you are, because it gives you more kindness, more compassion, more love, more positive energy, because you're looking at the world as the shimmering living thing instead of a bunch of symbolic stuff like you represent this and I represent that, and we don't generally need all that stuff, and there's too much of that labeling. And if you can tune into life and you can feel it within yourself, it'll be easier to feel it within others, and it creates a better world that's more alive. So, worth exploring.
Joel, as we do this, it's like I just want to, cover my whole body with power forms. Because I love them all. And, I always come back to the Super Cell as my favorite of all discs. I love this one. Anyway.
It's got a special something, and they all have their little thing that they do.
They do.
And
They do.
this is something that this one is it's the hardest to explain, and so the best way to do it is just to talk about makes your cells feel their original blueprint, so that you can recognize that you are the living, eternal self. You aren't the superficial things that you believe you are, and you aren't the superficial things that other people might have supposed that you are. So, anyway, I invite everyone to meditate on what happens when they tune into this life energy, because you are way more than what you supposed that you were.
Yes.
And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much, Joel. Till next time.
Blessings.